Hey guys, it's your boy Sushi here with another Arknights Endfield video. So for this video, we're going to take a look at how grindy Arknights Endfield actually is in comparison to other gacha games. Okay, so a lot of people have been talking about, oh my god, the game is so hard to get gems for, the game is so grindy, it's so hard to level up characters and stuff like that, especially when you hit level 80 to 90, right? Because I do have one character, I do have my Levitain at 90 and 90 max, and I will say it did take a lot of material to get her to that point, right? However, it might feel a little bit too tedious, a little bit too much work, but we're going to compare with actual numbers from other gacha games to see if building a full character is actually that hard. Okay, so let's take a look at this Reddit post. This person made did the calculations for us. So this shout outs to DMAC Serp G from Reddit. He calculated all this math, and we're gonna go through it. Okay. So resource farming comparison with other popular gachas, not accounting for side content versus Dejang and events, only dungeons. Okay, so this is strictly dungeons. This is no refills either, no stamina refills, but we'll have some numbers for that later on as well. Okay, so let's just take a look. The game that he compared, and I also asked him for estimates for other games as well, and we'll see. Okay, so looking at this, energy, right? This is the daily limit. So every single day for Genshin you get 180, and Arknights you get 200. I think Genshin's actually 200 now. I'm not too sure if he plays Genshin anymore. I don't play Genshin anymore. So anyway, the calculations are actually pretty accurate. Okay. And then the energy, how long it takes to regenerate one energy. So 8 versus 7.2 for Arknights. The experience, so this is how much it takes to level a character from level 1 all the way to level 90. Okay, so you need 419 heroes wit for Genshin Impact, and you need all of those for Arknights Enfield. Okay. Then we have experience, which is the energy cost. So this is exactly how much energy, stamina, sanity, whatever it's called in the games. You need 1,380 for Genshin and 1,790 for Arknights Enfield. So then calculating that with how many days it takes to farm, right? Remember, this is just strictly dungeons. We have 7.67 days to farm the EXP, okay? Just the raw EXP without essential materials, stuff like that, and 8.95 for Arknights Enfield. So far, just the raw experience, only about a day more, but there's definitely a big caveat or something very specific to Enfield that does a lot better than a lot of other gacha games like Genshin Impact, which you guys probably can already guess, but we'll get more into that later. Next is the currency. So this is just a raw amount of whatever in-game currency you use to level up the character. So the resource amount, you need about 2 million mora for Genshin. You need about 456,000 gold for Enfield. The energy cost, 700 versus 1,120. The days to farm, 3.89 versus 5.60. Okay, cool. So still, right, Arknights, as of this calculation right now, Arknights Enfield does in fact take a little bit longer to level up the characters. Okay, so now let's keep going with the last criteria is the ascension. So this is leveling Arknights from 20 to 40, 40 to 60, 80 to 60 to 80, and then 80 to 90, right? So this is the level, like the barrier to level up each character, level up each group. Sorry, to level up each group of levels. Okay, there we go. So for Genshin Impact, you need 46 boss mats, but for Arknights Endfield, you don't need any boss mats, right? You just need the specific kits, discs, and plates. Okay. Then the energy cost for the Ascension is 840 versus 800. And days to farm. So for Genshin, this is the first category where it takes a little bit longer than Enfield, right? It's 4.67 days versus 4 days. So therefore, the total energy required strictly only from dungeons, okay, guys, is 2,920 for Genshin and 3,710 for Arknights Enfield. And the total days to farm, which is the most important here, right, is 16.23 for Genshin and 18.55 for Enfield. Okay, so with that in mind, it's very clear that for just leveling up only the character, this is not including the weapon and stuff like that, only the character, Arknights Enfield is a teeny bit more grindy than Genshin. However, like I mentioned earlier, some of you guys may have already guessed it. Guess what I'm going to say, right? Arknights Enfield has only one RNG gear farm, Whereas Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, Honkai Star Rail, all those really popular gacha games before Arknights, right, require months, potentially months or even like a year worth of grinding in order to get all of the perfect gear substats, right? So Arknights almost entirely overhauled that system. So for Arknights, let me show my game again just in case you guys don't know. So for Arknights, the only RNG gear that you need to farm is for your weapon. So let's look at the regular gear first, okay? So if you guys see here, this gear, there's no substats, okay? Everything is just straight raw main stats, okay? Every single item, and every item is very easily craftable, which I'll show you guys here. Right? Everything. No RNG, substats, no anything like that. As long as you find the blueprint, which I haven't for these, you can craft as many of these for any character that you want, and all the sets are there. There's no chance to drop this set versus that set and mix up the main stats and stuff like that. So this, like, no one calculated this yet, but like honestly, that is massive, right? Because if you guys have played Wuwa, if you guys have played Genshin, if you guys have played Honkai Star Rail, you know the RNG substats with the main stats and then rolling them can be absolute bullshit, okay? Like actually absolute bullshit, because you could be farming one piece of gear to finish and complete your set for 2-3 months and still not get anywhere. For Arknights, all you have to do is just make enough of these materials, which at this point you guys see, I have so many of this material now. Once you've got into the end game and you're able to automate your factory bases and stuff like that, it is literally free, okay? So technically the amount of energy required to make all the gear for Arknights to fully build your character versus the other gacha games is theoretically infinitely less, right? Infinitely less, okay? Or at least 99%, 95% much better than the other games. Why do I say that, and why is it not 100%? Is because what I mentioned about the RNG in this game. The only RNG you have in this game is this. This is like a little extra bonus stat for your weapon. So you farm this with some dungeon, but this is the only RNG thing. And I think in order to level these more, you need duplicates, right? You need duplicates of these, okay? So that is the only RNG thing, literally, okay? Gear and everything else is absolutely like set in stone. All you have to do is craft it. You guys saw I had over 15,000 of that material in order for me to literally make, I can make hundreds, maybe even thousands of copies of the gear, and it wouldn't really matter because there's no substats, right? So that is a massive W, I would say, for Arknights over any of the other gacha games, okay? And you guys know I love Wuthering Waves, but this is a fact, right? I only operate on facts, okay, guys? Another thing I would like to mention is that I'll give you guys some general numbers, okay? Some general numbers. So I have it here in my notes. So some rough estimates. Remember, this is without spending the daily energy that the games give. Rough estimates for ZZZ is about 8 days to fully level up only the character. Wuwa takes about 13 days, okay? And yeah. I didn't get a calculation for Honkai Star Rail, but you guys can see that Arknights Endfield is in fact a much more like less grindy game than all the other really popular gacha games, right? I understand the factory is like you have to essentially grind it to build it and stuff like that, but once you have that done, it's done, right? You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna continuously farm forever, right? So let's talk about that. Actually, that's a very good point to talk about. Let's say in the future they release new sets, right, for Arknights Endfield, new gear sets, and then they also release new material to make, right? All we have to do is explore the new area, get the new bases, set up the new bases, and within maybe a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, boom, we can craft pretty much every single material, right? Because we currently only have 5-star gear in this game, right? We know 6-star gears are coming, level 80, level 90 gears. And like I said, once we get over that initial hurdle of setting up the base, exploring the area, setting up all the mining rigs and all that stuff, we should be golden, right? We should be completely fine crafting all the material for all the gear for any character we want, and we can even mix and match the gear, right? We don't have to mix up, we don't have to refarm the gear. Essentially, is what I'm saying, right? Because if you guys know, Levatane's build just recently changed, right? I changed this from this piece, right? And then I also changed this piece or some other piece to some other piece, okay? But my point being that as soon as that new found build came out for Levatane, boom, I just instantly crafted, no problem. I instantly got the new build build without any hassle, without needing to farm and get a headache from all the substat rolling, right? So not only for the other games where you have to get the right main stat, you also have to roll good substats, you know, especially Honkai Star, especially Genshin Impact, you know, those are miserable to farm. At least Wuthering Waves, they're implementing systems and it gets better every single patch where they're giving, okay, you can change the main stat of the echoes, you know, and then you can just roll the substats and stuff like that, right? So I don't know because I don't play Honkai Star or Genshin Impact anymore because I quit those games, but I know for a fact Wuthering Waves is definitely improving the RNG farming for their echoes more and more every single patch. You know, that's also a reason why I love Wuthering Waves. They're absolutely amazing. Kuro devs deserve all the success that they have gotten so far in Wuthering Waves. Okay, and I also want to shout out to the devs, Hypergriff for Arknights Endfield. Right, it's only been a week, but they immediately fixed patches. They fixed updates, bugs, all that stuff. And I think this game, honestly, I love playing this game. It's very chill, but it's also very amazing and entertaining, you know. But I definitely want to give the devs a round of applause for them listening. So I honestly think Arknights Enfield will be around for a very, very long time. Okay. So shout outs to Demak Serp G on Reddit again for putting this post together and allowing me to talk about it on this video. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. All right, before we go, I would just like to thank you guys for watching till the end of the video. So yeah, if you guys really like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe your thoughts down below. I'm also going to give away a monthly pass for Valentine's Day. Just for Valentine's Day, you know, if I can hit 1,750 subscribers by Valentine's Day, I will double that and give away 2 monthly passes. We just gave away some monthly passes for the release of Arknights, so the winners are very excited to get those monthly passes for any gacha game that you guys want. Okay, it doesn't have to be Arknights, does not have to be Wuthering Waves, any gacha game you want. And yeah, if I don't see you guys on stream because I stream every single night, then I will just see you guys in the next video. Bye.